Have you ever been in a negative mood? Well, I recently found myself stuck in a negative mood, a cycle of irritability, crabbiness, and seeing only things in a bad way. And it's not pleasant for me or for the people around me. It causes tension, uneasiness, friction. I'm that prickly cactus standing alone in the desert wondering why no one wants to be around me or give me a hug. Have you ever felt that way before? I hate to admit it, but I find myself there more times than I want to be. So, the first step in anything is awareness, noticing that you are in a bad mood, that you are not quite yourself or the person that you want to be. I don't intentionally show up as negative Nelly or pessimistic Peggy. I want to show up positive, pleasant, energetic, full of life and love. But what happens when you find yourself in a negative mood? What can you do about it? In today's episode, I will share with you 10 things that I ask myself that provide clues into the way I'm thinking, feeling, behaving, and showing up for myself and to the world around me. So, first, what has my schedule like been over the last week? Have I been traveling a lot or have I had increased work responsibilities or deadlines? Has there been a lot of pressure put on me? Take a pulse of your week. Has it been hectic and overwhelming? Were you running from task to task or place to place? Or were you able to take moments to rest and enjoy the day? I know that being out of my so called normal routine of having increased responsibilities or pressures or deadlines or even traveling a lot can lead me to feel a little bit more stressed and overwhelmed in that week. The second thing I ask myself is, how have I been sleeping? Have I been getting enough good quality sleep? Have I been getting to bed on time? I know I need 7 to 9 hours of good quality sleep a night in order to function at my best. So, am I doing that? And how can I do that better? The third thing I ask myself is, have I been moving my body? Have I been staying in my exercise routine? And I know that I'm better mentally, emotionally, and physically when I move my body. So, am I doing it? Am I going for my morning walk? Am I challenging my muscles? Am I building them up by doing some light weights or some body movement exercises? Have I been stretching? The fourth thing I ask myself is, how have I been eating? Like, what have I been eating and how have I been fueling my body? What have I been putting into my body? Have I planned out my meals or am I just eating what is fast, easy, and convenient? Have I eaten too much? Have I eaten too close to bedtime? Because I know that affects how I sleep. Have I drank enough water? Have I stayed hydrated? Have I eaten too many sweets and desserts? I know I feel better when I eat a salad every day and I get my lean protein in and I limit my refined carbs and sugar. I just know my body feels better. Am I doing that? The fifth thing I ask myself is, what am I thinking? What's going on in my head? What is my mental chatter? So, what type of thoughts have been going through my mind? Have they been positive or have I been ruminating on some negative something, a negative recording stuck on repeat? My energy mimics my thoughts. So when my thoughts are positive, inspiring, and excited, I'm more energetic, I'm more positive, and I engage more with others. The sixth thing I ask myself is, what is my body feeling? Does my body feel free and open, or does it feel closed up and protected? Where in my body am I feeling tension or building up walls? Like, what parts of my body am I protecting from pain or hurt? I just feel it. When I feel closed up or when I'm in protection mode with my body armor on, it is difficult for others to penetrate it. I'm protecting my heart. I'm not trying to get hurt. I'm just protecting. I've got this bodysuit of armor on. I think I'm protecting myself, but what I'm really doing is repelling others and pushing them away. I'm that prickly cactus in the desert, but I want a hug. The second thing I ask myself is, what am I expecting? What am I expecting to happen? Did I assume the other person was going to do something and they didn't? Did I just assume they knew what I was thinking or feeling and were going to give me what I want and needed? What scenarios have I played out in my head that has shaped what I was thinking, feeling, or how I responded to others? So I know when I'm in a bad mood, I find myself playing out a scene in my head of how a person's going to respond and then how I'm going to respond to that and what I would say and what they would do and what they would say. And it goes on, and often it does not end well. And guess what? It usually happens. I usually throw myself into that scene and play it out, and it doesn't end well. The eighth thing I ask myself is, how have I been communicating? Or what has my lack of communication caused? So, have I been communicating my thoughts and my feelings to those around me, or have I been bottling them all up inside? Have I voiced my concerns or my needs? Or have I been thinking about my spouse and kids just know and read my mind? Communication is the biggest thing that breaks down when I'm in a bad mood. I don't talk. I just assume. I think others should just read my mind and give me what I want. And it doesn't happen that way. And I don't think it happens that way for you either. The ninth thing I ask myself is, what am I focused on? Am I spotlighting the negative? Am I only focusing on one statement or one complaint or one thing the other person did that I'm upset about and I'm ignoring all the rest? What is on repeat here? What is the broken record that I'm playing over and over again? What am I really being focused on? And this will continue unless I do something about it and choose to focus on something else. So I know I often get, just tunnel vision. I get focused on one thing. It's like, oh, they complained about this, so everything is bad. I ignore all the good things. I ignore the tries, the attempts to break down the armor, and I just focus on the negative. Doesn't work very well. The last thing I ask myself is, am I just going through the motions? Does every day seem to be that I'm just doing what needs to be done and nothing else? Am I just checking off the items off my to-do list and not stopping to be really present in the moment, to really appreciate life in the moment? When I'm in a bad mood, I often feel like I'm just checking off things in my to-do list, just checking off the boxes, just getting through the day. And I'm not stopping for a moment to soak in the morning sun, to stop and notice the newly blooming flower, or to really listen to what the kids are excited about. It's in appreciating the moments that we find meaning to our life. It's the moments between the to-dos that we find the joy. It's the moments where we focus and we notice that we're just breathing. We notice our breathing and we focus on our breathing and the fact that we are alive. We all have bad days once in a while, but when they start becoming a string of days, it's time to take a step back, to ask ourselves some questions and gain a little insight. Then from our answers, we can choose differently. We can choose to take a break. We can choose to get some more rest. We can choose to move our body more. We can choose to fuel ourselves with nutritious food and hydrate ourselves with water. We can show appreciation in the moment. We can be grateful for those actions that people do around us. We can have the conversation with our loved one. We can express our thoughts and our needs. We can tackle a project we've been wanting to do, or we can pause to breathe in life. Breathe in life for a moment. Going from prickly cactus to a lovable, huggable teddy bear is simple. It starts with awareness, asking ourselves a few questions, and deciding to do something different. It might not always be easy, but it's definitely worth it.